gonna say it's probably not here anymore.
What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as you just seen, I was out cruising around the little junkyard and went out there for this. This is that bolt that I needed for my passenger side lap belt because I only had one for the driver's side. So it's got all these fancy stupid washer things on it, and then it's also got this little collar deal on it so that the belt can shimmy around. So went and picked this thing up. Since you can't just order this, you know, from Honda, you have to order the entire freaking belt, which I didn't want to do. So, yeah, I'll put this thing in, and then both the driver's side and passenger side belts will be 100% in. I also did grab a bunch of these clips for the cowl for the ones that were missing. That one's in all. But yeah, now I have all my clips in the cowl, so I got that. I also tried to get one of these pieces here. They had one. I actually had it. I had it in my hand, but it was green. And I thought about just taking it, or not taking it, but buying it and sanding it down and painting it. But then I'm like, it's 60 bucks brand new from Honda. And if I take a green one, it's going to cost me like 60 bucks in materials just to paint the stupid thing. So I'll just probably order that. I couldn't find a silver one. I went around the whole junkyard trying to find a silver car. Found one silver car, green fenders. So that didn't work out. But I'm gonna get this bolt put in, and then I gotta turn the fuel pump on this thing and see if that PTFE, see if our PTFE tape will hold on the regulator end gauge. Make sure there's not a fuel leak there. Probably gonna fire this thing up. And might even take it for a quick rip because I haven't driven it yet, and maybe we'll finally get to that reaction that myself and probably everybody else is waiting for. So anyways, I'm gonna go put my bolt in. Alright, so I got my bolt in down here with a lap belt. It's kind of hidden here, I guess. What the? I don't know if you can. There it is. Alright, so you can see the bolts in. This thing basically pushes all the way up against the trim piece, which was surprising to me because the other side wasn't like that. So I'm like, oh, well, now I need to fix this. Plus, like, I was talking, all that bolt has like a shoulder for this to spin on. Well, these weren't big enough for the bolt to fit through, so then I had to try to drill these out. So it's been a whole thing. Of course, my unit bits are dull, so they wouldn't drill this out because this is like hardened steel. Biggest drill bit I had was 1/2 inch, and I needed like a 9/16 hole, so I went and bought a 9/16 drill bit, and went and bought this thing. So I went and bought this drill bit, and yeah, it just started, like, I don't know if it'll focus on that or if you can see it, but it started rounding, dulling my bit immediately. So that didn't work. So I was like, well, how in the heck am I going to make these holes bigger so the bolt actually fits? And I remembered I had these little deburr things, so yeah, and these worked actually really well. And I was able to enlarge the hole, make it a little bit bigger so that the bolt would fit. But like I said, this side here, turn the light on again, this side here, it sits flush. The other side wasn't doing that. So I had to figure out, well, okay, I gotta fix the other side. And then that proved to be a whole nother problem in itself, because on this side, the bolt, when I first tightened it in, only went in so far and then stopped. So it was sticking out quite a ways, and I was like, well, that ain't right. So I pulled it back out. Well, the threads were all rusty and looked like crap. So I was like, well, Shouldn't be this hard to fix, you know. Just gonna grab a I'll just get a tap, run a tap through the hole, and we'll be kosher. Problem with that is that hole, that thread pitch is goofy. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I was able to take the bolt and put it in my 12 by 1.25 die thread onto it, but it was a little bit loose. So I went and picked up a 12 by 1.25 tap, thinking that would work. No, almost screwed the hole up. Luckily, I was able to get the bolt going, and then I doused it with WD-40, and I put anti-seize on it, and the thing actually threaded in all the way, which was a relief. So harnesses are in on the car, and we're good to go there. So now I want to see if that PTFE tape that I put on that pressure regulator actually holds. So turn the power on in the back, and ignition, fuel pump running. See if it's leaking. So far I don't see fuel leaking, so that is a plus. Because last time it was just pissing out of there. So I think we're good. I don't know, we'll fire this thing up. If it starts leaking, I'll just have to kill it. so bad right now. Especially with like no brakes. These brakes are terrible.
Fucking wow. That's all I got to say is wow. Fuck. This thing will get you in trouble in town. 100%. Like, and with the brakes the way they are, I mean, I don't need to go fast. And that was lighting them up in third gear. That was insane, guys. Wow. I'll wake you up. It's a little hot. Yeah, I don't know what that warning was for. Wow.
Wow.
Alright guys, so that drive was kind of insane. I didn't even go far. I went like 4 blocks, 5 blocks down the road, and I was like, I should probably go back. I'm gonna get myself in trouble on this thing. It's just it's so loud. Otherwise I just keep driving it around, but I rewatched the video from me going on a little drive, and I noticed that my reaction's probably a little delayed, especially after, because you can hear the tire squealing. And then, yeah, my reaction's a little delayed. I mean, it was a genuine reaction. I don't really know why there was the pause there. I think I was just trying to process it all. That plus, the thing brakes like shit, so there was that. I was trying to slow down, and there's also, like, I was just trying to look around me, know what's around me, because, like, the mirrors, you know, they're power mirrors, and the power's not hooked up. So I couldn't really see behind me because there's no rear view mirror, so I couldn't see behind me, and I was just trying to be aware of my surroundings and people, and cars, and cops. So I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. I'd like to drive it more. I mean, this thing is rowdy, really rowdy. It did seem like, I was watching the temp gauge, it did look like it was getting a little warm. It was up, you know, like above 180, like maybe 200 degrees. And I was like, that seems warm. Like, this thing should cool a little bit better than that. I mean, I've barely driven it. So, you know, when I was at the dyno, I was like, well, I wonder if the fan ever kicked on. And I never noticed it. So I decided I would try, you know, just make sure the fan works. Make sure there was power at the plug and everything. But, I took a battery and some test leads and jumped directly to my solder here, or my splice, and the fan doesn't spin. I tried it both ways, you know, positive on each wire, negative on each wire, whatever, which it doesn't spin. The fan doesn't spin. So I'm guessing that I got a bad fan, I don't know, or something. Thing's brand new, it should work, but I don't know, I don't get it. Put 12 volts directly to it from a battery and it doesn't spin. So that doesn't help with temps at all, because we've got no air going through the radiator other than what's trying to get past the intercooler here. It's not drawing any air in, so that's no bueno. So I'm gonna look into getting a new slim fan on the way, so I can get that swapped out, which sucks, because the only way to do it is to, like, well, the easiest way is to pull the intercooler off, which isn't a big deal, but still, I mean, it's like disassemble. I don't want to disassemble, I just want it to work. Whatever. It's just the life of a race car, right? So, yeah, well, we figured that out. I mean, these are the things that I'm going to figure out as I drive it. I mean, everybody thinks that I'm just going to go to the track and pop off a 9-second quarter mile and life's kosher. Like, that's not how this is going to go at all. And I already know that. I know that. A lot of people, everybody else doesn't. A lot of people don't realize that. You build something like this, there's a lot of trial and error that goes into it. And I don't even know if the thing will see an A to B pass the first time I have the track. I mean, it might be all short track. It might just be quarter mile stuff, eighth mile stuff. I might break axles right away. I mean, there's so many variables. We might find other issues with couplers or, you know, so many things. The car is basically untested. Yes, it survived the dyno, but it hasn't, you know, that was on rollers. It hasn't gone down a drag strip. So it's all going to be trial and error, that's for sure. So, yeah. Got something cool coming from UPS today. I'm kind of waiting on him, and I'm hoping I can fit it in this video. So I'm just going to keep tinkering on this thing, and if I do anything of value to share with you, I will grab the camera.
A few moments later.
So these things are sick. Like, things are really sick. Look at these things. They're so awesome. And they're really freaking light too. Like, super light. I don't know what they weigh. I don't have a scale right now to weigh them. I mean, one-handed, I'm like, it's nothing. I love those aluminum. I mean, just look how wide these suckers are. Nuts. Freaking 10-inch wide wheel right there. So, they finally showed up. So, now the goal is to get some slicks. But, yeah, those are here. So, the mosquitoes are out in full force, guys. Formula drift on, and it is loud as shit. So I did hold one of these wheels up, and I lifted the front of the car, pulled that wheel off, and then I put this wheel on there just to see the fitment of the caliper inside the wheel, and it's super tight. I took a clip with my phone because I couldn't really stick my head back behind the wheel to look, so I'll put that clip in right here. But yeah, it was super tight, but they fit, so that's the main thing there. So yeah. So, outside of the wheels showing up, this is kind of what I've been working on here. Since I have these power mirrors, I figured, well, I might as well just rip the door panel off, and this should be the mirror wiring, I think. And so I'm just going to kind of match some colors and hit the switch here and see if they work. Go up, down, left, right. Probably play with a combination of the wires. I tried finding a schematic, I just gave up. So I'm just going to play with it, see what happens. So, yeah.
Several long days later.
Alright guys, so it's like a week later at this point, I think. Yeah, it's been a week. Left off in the last video, was working on not the last video, the last clip. I'm an idiot. Yeah, so I left off in the last clip working on the mirrors inside, the power mirrors. Which, fun fact, door panel's back on, but they still don't work. Whatever it is, 3 wires here. I printed off the schematics, and I looked at every Honda Tech forum there is, and could not find one. I did find one write-up on exactly how to wire up those spoon replica eBay mirrors on a EK Civic, but the forum was from like '08 and none of the photos would load anymore. So yeah, and before anybody comes at me in the comments, I tried every wire combination known to man between both doors, and I could only get the mirrors to go like one direction at a time. It drove me nuts. I finally said screw it, and I just shoved the wires back in the door, and it's like whatever. Get the mirrors close to where I can see out them, and we're calling it a day. But if any of you know exactly how to wire up those 3-wire mirrors on an EK, hit me up, because that's still driving me insane. But anyways, beyond that, what else was I doing last time you guys talked to me and 2 clips ago? There was, oh yeah. So here we've got the slim fan that I pulled out, and I said wasn't working because the temp got really hot. Well, we got this one ripped out, and I was trying to figure out why it, worked when I pulled it out, but it didn't work when it was in the car. Well, then I seen this bare wire down here in the motor, and I'm like, well, that's probably part of it. That's probably touching the case, or it's probably just a loose connection, and probably why the fan wasn't working. But I went ahead and already installed the new Mishimoto fan, so that's in there. I did check it. This one works, and it should be wired as a pusher, so air will come through the intercooler into the fan through the radiator. And yeah, so that's done, which is great. Yeah, so the new fan's in, and I had to order new zip ties for it. Wasn't a big deal, but those took a day to get here or so, and it's kind of why this video is like picking up after a week. I had to order some stuff, and it is what it is. So I finished those 2 things this morning, or played with the mirrors most of the day, and then got that fan done. I also picked up the heat blanket for the wastegate. Try to keep the heat away from everything around the wastegate. So yeah, that's there. That's neat. And the only other thing I'm doing right now is trying to get this bumper fitted to the car. So the other day, yesterday, I went to Honda and I ordered the clips, or the grommets they call them, that hold the corner of the bumper to the fender. So those are on the way. So I'm trying to get this thing kind of cut up here, so that it fits right. So I'm going to cut this back a little bit because this seemed like it was hitting the intercooler. I might have to turn the lower part of the bumper a little bit just because of the weight plate, the weight bar. And then I also might have to cut these out. I started by cutting off these bottom mounts for the fog lights, because this thing probably won't ever have fog lights, which kind of stinks because I like them, but the intercooler piping there, it ain't gonna fit. So I might have to cut this out. Not 100% sure yet. I want to get this trimmed first, and then we'll see how this fits. But yeah, so I got going on right now. So I'm gonna probably throw the camera on this tripod here, time lapse this bumper, get this thing fit, and then we'll see how it looks, if it fits. Don't judge me. Forgot I had the stand. guys, so I've been at this thing for a bit now. I shut the camera off because it took a lot longer than I thought it was gonna, but I've almost got it. It ain't perfect. Well, apparently this is where we cue the weekly GoPro die at the end of the video. Anyways, as I was saying, so I've got this bumper pretty much cut up. It doesn't look the best, period. It really doesn't, but it'll work. Do a new bumper, I don't know, maybe 3-piece front end in the future. But for now, this thing should ride, so. Here it is, it's on here. Like I said, this thing doesn't look the greatest anyways. It's all scuffed crap and whatnot. So on this side so far, basically I've just cut out this vent that was here and a little bit more in this side fit. And, you know, still got to pull the bumper back a little bit, but it should ride. I might trim this out just a little bit more. Being that the pipe's sitting there, I might trim it down a little and a little bit more towards the center of the bumper just so it fits a little bit better. Now, the passenger side is ugly. This hole's huge, but it is what it is. I needed to make it fit, so this hole got cut all kinds of wonky big for that little pipe. But I basically cut out where the fog light would be, and then I thought I kept hitting the pipe, so I cut back a little bit more. Well, I was also hitting the weight bar, so I mean, I can get it up to the fender. It's still hitting a little bit on the bottom. I might have to trim that down a little bit more too. It doesn't look the greatest. I really wish this hole wasn't so dang big on this side, but I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I guess it's on there, right? What do you do? So, like I was saying, it doesn't look the best. Really wish it would have turned out a little bit better. Maybe if I would have taken, I don't know. I don't want to say I've taken my time. Oh, I did cut the center section out of the bumper as well, where the intercooler is, but that's whatever. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like no matter what I did, it wasn't going to be 100% perfect. I mean, the bumper's not perfect to begin with. Maybe just use this as a mock-up bumper, and then, you know, someday when this one's fully on, maybe I buy another bumper in the future. We cut it a little bit better, something. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, guys, one thing I don't know if I mentioned earlier, I did go under the rear of the car and adjust the camber. It looked like it was stanced before. Wheels are a little bit straighter in the rear now, so it's not so stanced like it was before. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. It's getting late now. I need to clean this disaster that I just made up. You guys like my sign? Phoenix Avenue? It's pretty sick. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna call it here because I need to clean up, and I'm gonna go in the house and, I don't know, drink a beer or something. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like, share it, tell your friends, and look forward to the next video because it's probably going to be from the track, or it'll be me getting this thing ready to go to the track. So, I don't know. Either way, hope you enjoyed it. Peace.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a